Shalom, Iran has retaliated with a barrage of hypersonic missile strikes in Tel Aviv, Israel. Our lead correspondent, Malouan Yahu, has a full report.
Shalom, shalom. The Iran-Israel conflict has definitely escalated amidst a new hypersonic threat and mounting casualties. As we first reported a few days ago, the long-standing tensions between Iran and Israel have erupted into direct military confrontation, marked by significant casualties and the alarming deployment of advanced weaponry. Iran has launched multiple waves of missiles and drones at Israeli targets, prompting retaliatory strikes by Israel against Iranian military and nuclear facilities. A critical development in the escalating conflict is Iran's reported use of its Fatah-1 hypersonic missile unveiled in June 2025. The Fatah-1 is described as Iran's first hypersonic medium-range ballistic missile, reportedly capable of speeds exceeding Mach 13 and designed with advanced maneuverability that challenges conventional missile defense systems. Reports indicate that these missiles have successfully breached Israel's famed Iron Dome, as well as the David Sling and Aero defense system, striking targets in Tel Aviv and Haifa, and raising concerns about the efficacy of Israel's multi-layered defense system.
retaliatory يا شباب retaliatory.
Since initial Israeli airstrikes on Iranian targets, Iran has responded with direct military retaliation. Iranian state media claims that strikes on fighter jet, fuel production facilities, and energy supply centers in Israel. The human toll is mounting, with Iran's health ministry reporting at least 224 have been killed and over 1,200 have been injured in Israeli strikes since Friday, asserting that over 90% are civilians. Among the reported fatalities in Iran is the intelligence chief of Iran's Revolutionary Guard, Mohammad Khazani, and his deputy. Israel, in turn, reports at least 14 killed and 390 wounded in Iranian attacks. Official statements from both sides underscore a readiness for sustained confrontation. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei and President Masoud Pezeshkian have vowed a fierce and severe response from Iran, promising to make Israel regret its foolish act. Iran has reportedly warned the UK, the US, and France against defending Israel, threatening to target their ships, bases if they intervene. Iran's UN ambassador has accused Israel of being the most dangerous and terroristic regime in the world and called for UN Security Council accountability, also claiming to have solid proof of U.S. backing for Israeli attacks. Israeli strikes have reportedly targeted key nuclear and military facilities as well as oil and government sites in Iran, including fuel depots in Tehran and the Defense Ministry headquarters in Isfahan. Iran claims its strikes hit military and intelligence sites in Tel Aviv and oil refineries in Haifa. Diplomatic efforts are faltering, with Iran rejecting truth talks and its foreign minister Abbas Araqchi stating that continuing nuclear talks with the U.S. is unjustifiable. The escalating conflict, marked by Iran's demonstrated hypersonic missile capability and the rising casualty count, has prompted international concern. The European Union top diplomat has convened an emergency meeting of foreign ministers to discuss the situation and explore diplomatic efforts to de-escalate tensions. Meanwhile, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has reportedly urged President Donald Trump to take a more active role in the conflict, particularly concerning Iran's nuclear program. However, Trump has thus far resisted being drawn into a broader conflict, emphasizing diplomacy as the preferred path to end the conflict. Reports indicate Trump recently vetoed an Israeli plan to assassinate Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, fearing such a move would further destabilize the region and unify all Muslims against the U.S. and Israel. Trump has publicly stated the U.S. had nothing to do with Israeli initial attacks on Iran and has posted on his Truth social media site that Iran and Israel should make a deal and will make a deal. What are my expressed opinions on this?
At the Expressional, subscribe.
This conflict is escalating potentially to the point of no return, with powerful nations choosing sides. On the Iranian side, you have Russia, you have China, you have Pakistan, you have North Korea, and you have Yemen, with more nations siding with Iran as the days progress. On the Israeli side, you have the UK, you have India, and most importantly, you seemingly have the U.S. Army looming. And not only looming, progressing towards the Middle East with reports of B-52 bombers, U.S. fighter jet aircrafts, and also potentially soldiers for potential boots on the ground. Now, Yahushua HaMashiach said, "I come to set a fire on the earth, and oh, how I wish it were kindled." Fire speaks of judgment. It speaks of war. It speaks of cataclysm. It also speaks of a cleansing or purging. Seemingly, what is happening is all nations are being drawn into a conflict that has not been seen since World War II. To those who are in Yahushua HaMashiach, be encouraged, for he said that there shall be wars and rumors of wars. But be not troubled, for the end is not here. He also said, go into your houses while the indignation pass. For those who are wise, steer clear of immersion into conflict and keep your eyes on Adonai Yahushua HaMashiach. Be not troubled. Be not triggered by the signs, for these things have to come. Interestingly enough, Benjamin Netanyahu has been playing to the ego of Donald Trump. seemingly drawing him into the conflict. He shall set up the Medes, and they shall draw their bows against Babylon. Is this what we are seeing in his day? Or is it just another stir up for a die down? We shall see. But to those who have ears to hear this. For Yahuwah does all these things. Yahuwah moves the pieces on the chessboard, and Yahuwah will get his esteem via his perfect outcome via these matters. Will cooler heads prevail? Or will the U.S. be drawn into a greater conflict and bring about a ripple effect of all of these other nations being drawn into potentially World War III? Whatever it may be, we'll continue bringing you the news and reporting it to you. But I say to those who walk in Yahusha, be encouraged. These things must happen. I thank you for checking in to the Yahoo Cinecast and
The Expressional.
And we'll see you next time.